Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talk About It Tuesday. My name is Angelica Zadak, and today we have a very special guest, Ricky Finch. How are you doing, Ricky?
I'm good, and you? Everything's good?
Pretty good.
I have a yelling puppy today, so she smells food.
She
Tacos,
smells
maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
For Taco Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's pretty excited.
Pretty excited. Who wouldn't be excited about tacos?
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Ricky. I'm really excited for everyone to get to know you. I had the joy of getting to know you during our master's program at NSU. So why don't you tell us just a little bit about who you are? How would you describe yourself, Ricky?
I'm a writer, a woodworker,
Mhm.
a hardware salesman, a professional writing consultant, and silly most of the time.
And silly most of the time.
Silly most of the time.
The other 20% of the time, you're just stoic.
Trying to find cookies, yes.
Trying to find what?
Cookies. Yeah.
I think a lot of us spend our time that way.
Yeah. Just looking for the cookies.
Absolutely.
Looking for cookies.
Always, yeah. I think that's a perfect description. I think it's relatable. I think a lot of us spend our time looking for cookies, and not necessarily on the cookie train, but on the writing train. Yeah. How did you get started? What got you started writing, or what got you interested? What gave you the bug?
I think I've always written, always had a pad and paper and kind of just kept notes of life and things like that. And one day I noticed I had a big binder of words that were all smushed together, and I was just trying to figure out how to put them in an order that made sense, I guess. And so how do you actually turn something into a story? And so that kind of prompted me to I went and took a class at the local community class, just an English writing class. And that's where it kind of all started and snowballed, because I began to enjoy writing, the writing process, creative process, but also the academic process as well. And so that led from an associate's to a bachelor's to a master's, and just kind of writing my way through that whole thing.
That's pretty incredible, because a lot of people wonder, how do you get started? Or they have notebooks filled with paper and all these words, and they don't really know what to do with them.
Right.
And so what inspired you to go ahead? What was the spark to take that first class?
Well, I wasn't having a particularly interesting life at the time, but I always wanted to tell stories. And so it became about how can I tell all of these stories you have in your head. You just kind of collect stories throughout your life, and you're okay, these have to be interesting to someone other than me. So how can I tell these stories? And so it was just more of I'd reached the point where I just wanted to do something new and kind of figure out if I could be good at something other than what I was doing at the time. It's is there anything else in life that I can kind of be good at, that I can kind of become an expert at? Yeah.
What were you doing at the time?
I was doing retail and restaurant management type stuff, and I enjoyed it. I enjoy working with people, talking to people, and just things like that. But it's okay, I'm good at this, but what else can I do? It was how can I kind of expand myself, and kind of at the time just kind of redefine what I wanted to do. And so writing kind of became that way to kind of realize a different world, I guess.
That's really cool. It's like your own personal hero's journey.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. I think everybody kind of enjoys that whole journey that you go on. And I think writing for me has always kind of been a journey anyways. A lot of what I write about is getting from point A to point B, and all the things you deal with in between, and kind of coming out with a better perspective on life in the end. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So you've been on this journey for a while now,
Mhm.
and along the way, you probably collected some memories, some happy moments. What have been some memories or moments that have really stood out to you?
Um, it's along the way, like kind of getting a couple things published in journals, like the local school journals. Um, I had the one published in Digressions over at Nova,
Mm-hmm.
the grocery shopper's guide to bird watching in South Florida. That
Right.
was kind of like my pinnacle at that point, because I'd finally kind of realized how to put things together and kind of had movement with the character, and it was meant to be silly, but at the same time, it's like, okay, this person's going through some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they're dealing with it, and you're kind of able to deal with it throughout the story and just kind of move. And that to me was like, that was my favorite thing I've written so far, and kind of the pinnacle for me so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of, after knowing you for a while, finally reading that story.
Give it a while.
A little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A long while. And it is really good, and that's something that you are a master of. You build these characters and you allow your audience to walk through this journey with them, sticking on the theme of the journey. And it's so much fun to go on in this adventure with the characters that you write. So thank you for the experience, even though it came
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
later than
That's been the
probably.
favorite so far. I still get people talking to me or asking me about that from time to time, and it's been what, 3 or 4 years now, 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So
So what tips, you got to this point, this is your pinnacle so far. I'm sure there's plenty more to come, based off of what we've talked about off screen. And what what tips and tricks do you have for anyone starting out writing, anyone who wants to jump into their own journey?
I think, just write consist well, just write, just find something to write about, even if it's bad, because you never know what you might come up with.
Mhm.
Um, Going back to that story, there was a line in that story that I'd written 4 years ago,
Mhm.
and I just happened to kind of hold on to it. It was in the back of my head, and it fit well in that story. And so, just kind of writing and kind of remembering, thinking about the things that you've written before, and kind of how they can fit in future stuff. Like, even if it's the original story that line came from was horrible and bad, but that one line kind of set off the whole story for me. It was kind of that moment of realizing, like, oh, okay, I'm taking something that was not good, but now I can repurpose it into something that's better. Talk to people, let people read your stuff. That's a hard thing. Like, put yourself out there. That's a horribly difficult thing to do, and I hated it. I hate it and hated it, because there's a lot of anxiety in that. But like, you've got to put yourself out there and say, hey, read this, tell me what you think. And if you got people that around you that are going to give you good feedback, you kind of learn and grow from that. But at the same time, there are people that will look at something you've read and connect with it, and they'll really kind of appreciate what you've done. Not everybody, but somebody will. Yeah. And that's kind of like for me, that's kind of like, okay, I've connected with somebody through something I've written. That's kind of that special moment. Like, even if it's just a couple people, yeah. Like, you've gotten a laugh from somebody, you've gotten,
Right.
Somebody's connected with something you've written, they're crying, and they've connected with the emotion that you're writing with.
Right,
So,
because the goal of every writer is to make someone cry.
yes, I have a horrible story about that, but that's maybe for another day.
A horrible story?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a horrible story. It was just unexpected. in undergrad, I'd written a story
Uh-huh.
about going through like the stages of grief
Mm-hmm.
on a bus.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're meeting like all of these wonderful characters on the bus, and the guy's just kind of moving through like this day of trying to get from home to work to back home. And, of course, everything's falling apart, and it's kind of representing these stages of grief. When I wrote it, I didn't necessarily recognize that there would be parts in there where people might react emotionally to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was presenting it at a conference at the school, and I'm standing up, and I kind of hit me about 2 lines before, like, oh, this is kind of dealing with a not happy topic.
Grief, yeah.
Oh, and I'm looking out at the people, and I can see them start to cry. I'm like, oh no, oh no. Yeah. Lucky towards the end, there was like it got happier as it went, and there was,
Mm-hmm.
like there were more jokes along the way, but it literally went within 2 lines from a haha funny moment to, oh God, something bad happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see just the shift in everybody that was listening to me read it. Yeah.
Yeah, just tears. No tissues, but lots of tears.
No, no tissues, lots of tears.
I had the pleasure, before I read your other story, that was the first thing that I've read of yours, and that was really good. Really, really emotional, really good. I did have tissues by me, though. I was not in a conference center when I read it, so
Yeah.
I had the one up on the people at the
All
conference.
the people that were in there. I think
Yeah.
there was one girl, because it was originally for a class project,
Mhm.
who actually knew what was going on, and I could see her in the back of the room just kind of smiling as this was going, like as in, oh, you're about to hit a nerve. And I'm like, I'm clueless, because as a
Uh-huh.
as the writer, you're focused on, where did that comma go? Where does this period go? Like, am I using the right word choice? How's the sentence flowing? Things like
Mhm.
that. And I'd kind of totally forgotten about the content of what was going on. So
Yeah. You should
yeah.
have been thinking, this is sad, period.
Yeah, maybe I should set this up a little differently and ease people into it. Yeah.
Question mark?
Exactly. But that was kind of like, I mean, as a writer, like, that was like, I kind of realized in that moment, like, you can affect people with words, and how you write and
Mhm.
what you write, and that was kind of a special moment too, of like, oh, there's power in what you're doing. Like, you can brighten people's day, you can take them on that journey from, the first stages of grief all the way through kind of acceptance, and moving in the transformation that's going on in your life that way too, through a short story or longer stories, or any type of writing.
We have come to a very important part of our interview.
Okay.
This is our special taco interview point. Lasers, lights, beams, DJ mix. Cool.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So we are going on a journey together, and because you are a writer who specializes in journeys, we're going to go through a journey together. Are you ready for this, Ricky?
Sure, of course.
Okay, Ricky, you wake up one morning, the birds are chirping outside, you open your eyes, and as you open your eyes, interestingly enough, your nose starts to open up to a strange smell. What is the smell?
Orange slices.
Orange slices.
Yes.
Okay, so you go outside of your bedroom into the kitchen to see freshly squeezed orange juice waiting for you in the kitchen. What do you do?
I maybe explore a little bit, because there's nobody in the house, and there's orange juice, and it smells good, but something's a miss there. Something's not quite right.
Okay.
So maybe
As you
somebody come to visit me. I don't know.
As you explore the kitchen, you find orange peels spread throughout the floor. There is a trail leading outside. What do you do?
You got to follow the trail.
Okay, so you follow the trail. You follow the trail of orange peels outside the kitchen door. You notice that the peels continue on and stop abruptly in the middle of your driveway.
Mm-hmm.
On the drive on the road by your driveway, the wind starts to pick up a little bit. Leaves are blowing quite harshly down the road. Do you continue exploring? Do you look around the yard? Do you go back inside? What do you do?
How creative do we want to be? I think you look around the yard to see what's going on, to see if there's something there that could explain what's going on. Maybe a small animal that will give you a heads up, like you don't want to go towards the wind, but it's going to find you either way.
Okay.
A squirrel, a rabbit, groundhog.
So you keep looking around the yard, trying to find the source of these orange peels. And eventually you see a little movement under a patch of grass.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
You want to investigate that, but you kind of want to do it cautiously. Like maybe creep up a little bit. Don't get in a hurry, because that could be bad news.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you slowly approach this patch of grass and you hear, oh gosh, oh gosh, I hope he likes the orange juice. Oh gosh, I don't know if he's ready for this. I don't know if he's ready for this. He needs energy. What do you do?
Wow. I'm not sure with that one. There's got to, is it a leprechaun, a gnome, or is it, you got to figure out what it is first.
Figure out what it is first?
Yeah, you definitely want to kind of root around, because it sounds friendly.
So you're staying put, you're not really doing anything. Then you see this strange little creature with big eyes, and it kind of looks like it has a half moon type of yellowish shell pop up from above the lawn grass and try to look towards the kitchen. It says, oh no, you're here. Oh, and it hides again under the grass.
Yeah, we're gonna find out who that is and what it's doing there. But I may need a Pokeball ready on that one, because it sounds like a Pokemon of some sort.
A Pokeball?
Yeah, have a couple of those ready to go just in case.
So it looks again and it says, I'm so sorry, you weren't supposed to see me until the bus came. I'm not a Pokemon. I'm not a Pokemon. Don't eat me. And it comes out, and as it comes out, it hops a little. Lettuce flows from its head. You get a whiff of beef, and it looks at you. It's really cute.
Yeah, that's my guide. That's got to be the guide. At this point, with the whiff of beef, I think that's the thing that's going to help me along the journey. Because apparently we're going underground on this one.
So what do you do?
You pick them up, talk to them. Put them on your shoulder, maybe.
Oh gosh. I'm kind of scared of heights, but hey, it's here. It's here. And the little creature points to the road, and a giant burrito bus pulls up by your mailbox, and it kind of squishes. Oh my gosh, it's here. Come on. And it jumps off your shoulder and runs towards the burrito bus. What do you do?
I'm definitely following if it's a burrito bus.
Okay, you follow onto the burrito bus, and the little creature says, welcome to the burrito bus. You have been chosen as our King. We now are going to take you through our taco lands. But first, I want you to know that you have a magical power not like anyone else. You can travel exactly wherever in the world that you want. Where do you want to go, Taco King?
Where do I want to go? I think I want to go to Paris.
Okay. So the creature says, to Paris! And then the burrito bus drives over to a hole that's created in the universe. And the hole's green and thick, kind of like guacamole. You push through the hole and you arrive in something that looks like Paris, only the Eiffel Tower is made of churros, and on top of it, chocolate pours down, and the buildings surrounding seem like they're just chips, tortilla chips that are just spread all around to make it look like architecture. What do you do?
I feel like at this point you have to go with whatever's going on. But you got to explore Paris a little bit and see what's going, like Taco Paris at this point, and just see kind of what's going on.
Okay, so
I've kind of like, this has kind of gotten weird. Yeah, so you just kind of have to lean into it at this point and just enjoy the ride, I guess.
Okay, so do you get off the bus? Do you stay on the bus?
Oh yeah, you definitely have to get off the bus.
Okay.
You have to wander around. You have to see this at this point. Yeah.
So you get off the taco, or you get off the burrito bus, and you encounter two little creatures that are quite like the ones on your bus. And they say, oh, you're the Taco King, aren't you?
Yes, I am the Taco King, I think.
You have to help us. We're all trapped. We don't know what to do. We're supposed to be food. People are supposed to eat us, but we're just living in these cities. You have to help us, sir. Eat us. Eat us all. Save us. Save us, eat us.
Oh wow, that's a lot of that's a lot to process at that point. So you can't save the tacos?
You can save
You have
us
to
if
eat
you
the
eat us.
tacos.
You have to eat us. We're food. We're not supposed to be alive.
This is a very weird world then. But I would try to help them and eat the tacos. Okay.
Thank
That's
you,
not
Taco
right.
King. So the tacos have been eaten. And then the little guy from the bus comes over and he says, what did you do? What did you do? Why did you eat them?
They told me to.
They told you to?
Yes, the tacos did. The little.
So this is a little embarrassing, but none of us are supposed to be alive. We thought bringing a living person here would help, and turning him into a king would help make everyone want to be, a sentient being. And so I brought you on my burrito bus, and I thought maybe if I introduced you to everyone, you'd help us all be alive. But I guess they didn't want that, did they? I guess that all that's left is to eat me too and eat the burrito bus. What do you do?
I can't do that. I have to talk him down. It's like we're friends now.
You're my friend?
Yeah, I'm friends. I can't eat the person that brought me here on the burrito bus. He was on my shoulder. We were riding the bus through the green thing.
You're so kind. I've never met someone so kind before. I've never had a friend, and all I did this whole day was trick you into being our living king so that we could teach other people to be alive, because I don't have any friends. Are you really my friend?
Yes, of course.
So now the little creature shakes and is excited, and lettuce spurts from his head. He's like, whoopee! Here, why don't we do this? I'm going to take you home. Do you go back on the burrito bus or do you stay in Paris?
Well, I think we stay. I think there's something bigger going on.
Okay.
But yeah, with the he brought me there for a reason.
Okay.
And even though I've already eaten 2 of his friends or acquaintances.
So you look out at the rest of Paris and you realize that those 2 tacos that you eat are the only living tacos there. And the little creature says, yeah, they were kind of an experiment. They were the first 2 ones. And you ate them. So, but look, I made this all by myself. What do you think?
That's very impressive. Like a taco Paris. That's very impressive.
I can make you a taco home.
Oh.
Do you want me to make you a taco home?
A taco home would be nice.
Okay. So you see the little creature and he kicks down the Eiffel Tower and he uses the churros to make like a rectangular structure, and he uses the chips from the architecture around to build a roof. And you see he put some chilies inside the house and smoke starts to puff out of its little chimney. And he says, I'm so happy. You know, I'm going to keep you here forever.
Oh, that's a problem. I'm in trouble, aren't I? I should have gotten
What
back
do you
on.
do?
I think you tell the little creature that maybe it's time to go. Like the house is lovely. I can come visit sometime. Maybe have a vacation, but I have to go to work.
Oh, okay. Then I'll make you stay. And he whips out his spicy salsa and squirts it at your eyes. What do you do?
I try to dodge the spicy salsa, but maybe it gets in my eye and I have to and I fall down. At that point, I just have to get up and run back towards the burrito bus.
So you get knocked out, you're down. The little creature starts creating something that seems adhesive, almost like a bean paste. But before he can finish constructing it, you wake up, you run towards the burrito bus, and you get the wheel. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna try to drive the burrito bus and get away from the little monster.
So you start driving the burrito bus, and something's missing. There's a noise, something that happened before that helped it work. What was the noise?
The engine
Well, how does it go?
or an oven.
So you make the noise, and suddenly a giant green hole, kind of like guacamole, opens up. And before you know it, the burrito bus is pushed through, and the little creature's like, no. And it closes before he can get through. Eventually, you arrive back home.
Yeah, I'm not gonna drink that orange juice.
And that's been a journey with Ricky. Thank you for joining us on our taco journey. And Ricky, before we wrap up for the day,
Sure.
what are some ways people can find you, can reach out to you for any writing assistance, for your work? Where can they find your work? Can they find you?
I can send you like some links to like Twitter and Instagram if you want. I think I have a couple stories. I would have to pull the website up again, but I have a couple stories just kind of floating around online. I have some electronic literature floating around online that needs some work, but it's a wonderful place because I've actually kind of started working on like building a world type of thing to put everything into. So maybe I can send you those and you can link them or something.
So Ricky is saying that now, and fast forward to future when this video is up, all the links he just talked about are listed below in our description. So take a look at that to find Ricky and to find some of his work, some of his writing, some of his humor, and some of his grief-stricken material. Yeah, you're going to cry tonight. Congratulations. Well, Ricky, it's been so much fun having you. Thank you so much.
Having me come on.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
This was fun. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for taking us on your journey. And thank you everyone for watching. This has been another episode of Talk About It Tuesday. Please make sure to join us every Tuesday for writers, for actors, for producers, for any kind of artists that you can fathom to get some tips, tricks, and to get their stories. You can also check us out on Saturdays for sketches, and make sure to listen to our podcast. This is Legends of Yesterday, where we talk about histories, mysteries, and ghost stories all over Florida. Thank you everyone so much for joining. Make sure also to subscribe, like this video, show Ricky some love, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.